Good morning. I know we're all stuck at home. So while you're stuck at home, maybe you want to try your hand at creating clouds. So get out like a piece of paper or canvas, and if you layer it with dark and light colors of your own choosing, whatever you want, let it dry. This is acrylic here, but now I'm overlaying. I did a lot of layers in acrylic, and now I'm overlaying and starting to build edges of the clouds with oil paint. Sometimes I use linseed oil, but a lot of times I use liquid detail. I really like that. I like the way it helps the paint to flow. Or I use just simple, like this morning I'm using simple Turpenoid into the paint because I really want it kind of watery and transparent. So I just keep going. And what I'm doing is I'm looking to kind of create a lightness in one area. Maybe I'm choosing the left side, but you can choose whatever side you like. But I try to find a light source from one side or the other. I think a lot of people use the left side, and I'll tell you why, because the eye sort of roams around a picture, and I think that the eye roams from starts at the bottom and kind of goes toward the top on the left side, and then sort of swirls around. So I try to put the darker layers of color, emphasizing them to the right in order to create a light source on one side of your painting. It just works better. Although I don't know. It's not like I'm the art god. You do whatever you want. It's whatever works for you. If you see underneath the dragon fly wings, I sort of continue this darkened area and I add a little bit more dark here, and I'll tell you why. You're going to see why. And then I take my X-Acto knife. I'm sharing with you. Why not? Let's share what we do. And I make little tiny lines through the dark. Little hairs of the dragonfly. And that just adds a little element to it. You could a little bit more to it, and then I might add more here of darkness. Then I take the X-Acto knife and add a few more lines. And yeah, I know, it's tiny, huh? You have to be into crazy detail like me. So I'm making up more edges to the clouds here. This is, it's not white, it's kind of a Naples yellow I'm using. Over the layers of pinks and browns, kind of reddish brown, and sometimes a little bit of blue thrown in. I'm an equal opportunity color employer. is silly. So I hope you're all hanging in there at home. This has been a great opportunity, though, guys, of getting into baking, and gardening, and cooking, doing all these different things that you might normally not do. For me, it's not too different because this is what I always do anyway. But I know for some of you, it's been a learning curve. So if you notice, see these clouds, there's like, I create the shapes by kind of creating these edges. And I wait till the lower layers are always dry before you work on top of them, because it's not easy to work over wet layers of paint. And I'm just coaxing out colors, coaxing out definitions of shapes slowly. It's very, very subtle. And it's a long process, but it's worth it. So, if you're busy doing something, you won't be so concerned about what you can't do. There's a lot you can do in the house. You could paint like me, and you could just curl up with a good book, go offline, don't look at the news. That's a positive thing. You don't want to look at the news because it's kind of ongoing, isn't it? Being quiet is nice. Try it. I know some of you love music, but just try sitting in quiet for a while. You might come up with some incredible revelations about things. Who knows? So here I go. I'll move this a little bit. So I've got kind of a neutral pink here, and it's sort of like a blob of color. So I'm going to bring in kind of an oranginess to it. You see how once you break up that blob area, you can start to see the dragonfly even better. I kind of like that orangey pink. Don't you just love me deciding what I'm doing while I'm doing this? Mm-hmm. I never know. I just go by my instincts here. So what else can we do? Okay, so right now we're not supposed to be walking around at all. So you can just do this with me, or you could put on music really loud if you're into that and dance around the room for about an hour. So much better than ordering a pizza and just eating the pizza, although pizza's good too, as long as you don't eat too much pizza. I like mushrooms on pizza. Actually, pineapple on pizza is pretty cool. I like, my son likes, he got me addicted to Hawaiian pizza. Oh, that's so good. But like anything else, you don't want to do too much of any one thing. Because too much of a good thing does not make it good anymore. At the time you think, oh, this is great. But then later on you're going, oh, why did I do that? So you don't want to do that. So, clouds, you can keep going and keep going and keep going. I'm going to add a little bit of gold, I think. I like gold. Let's see what happens when I do this. Maybe gold with orange would be better. And you add a little bit of orange over here. Little dabble, do you? I'm a dabber. I don't know. Try me being a dabber. Do a little bit of everything. You know a dabber. When you see someone at a party and they take a little bite of a cookie and then they take a bite of something else, that's what dabbers do. We kind of do a little of everything, and we're very careful not to overdo, I guess. That's what dabbers are, I think, anyway. Always been a dabber. I've always liked tiny enclosed areas. I've always felt like safe, you know, you're in this enclosed area and you feel safe. I guess we all have our area, our thing, huh? See how you add a little bit of gold? I don't know. I'll move this a little bit so you can see it. But so it's a slow burn, you know. And I add a little bit of pink again into these little areas. And you can kind of constantly trying to coax out little shapes. I'm mushing areas. Is that an art term? I don't know. Yeah, maybe we can call it mushing. A little bit of gold. Golden clouds for the dragonfly. Oh, another good thing you could do while you're inside is you could Zoom if you feel like you want to talk to people. You know, find someone to Zoom with. You don't have to. Personally, being alone can clear your head of all the nonsense. There's a lot of nonsense out there being online. Adding a little orange. It's more like red mixed. I always mix colors together. I take the primaries and kind of fool around with them. But you don't have to do that. If you see a good color you want to use, go for it. Do your own thing. Doesn't matter anyway. It's what you think. It's just as long as you're happy doing it. Doesn't matter what anybody thinks, right? Well, we say that, but we still get affected by people's words. People's words are so, they can really affect your day, huh? I'm here to tell you that I don't know who you are, but you're A-okay in my book. Just the way you are. You know, it's hard not to be affected by these times, but we're all here together. We just have to hang in there, folks. What is that song? The sun will come out tomorrow. Yeah, I know that's kind of hokey, but it's true. Really, the sun will come out tomorrow. You just have to believe that in your heart. There's always a rainbow. Just close your eyes and imagine a rainbow. And you're not alone. No, you're not alone. We're all going through this, okay? And eventually this too will pass. So don't sweat it. Hang in there. Maybe get some seeds and try to plant a little tiny garden in your apartment. I used to live in a boarding house when I was young. Kind of a crazy time in my life. Making bad decisions. And I was the only one working in the boarding house, which was really funny. One day I stayed home with the flu, and oh God, how old was I? Oh, probably 19, 20, in New Jersey. I worked at the Blue Star Shopping Center. Talk about weird. And I stayed home from work one day because I was so sick. And I thought, oh my gosh, everybody must be sick in the house because everybody was home. And then they all started laughing when I said that because they said I was the only one in the house that was working. Well, that was a shock in my youth to think I thought everybody was working to make ends meet, and boy, was I wrong. I'd come home from work at night, and there'd always be this other guy sitting on the porch, drunk as a skunk. And my landlady, who was another, she must have been about 30, I would always help her carry him in to the house. Boy, those were weird days. And I'm thinking, why does he drink? Why does this guy drink? I never knew what happened to him, but I hope that he found some peace in his life. I guess we all go through our journey here. So we have to be kind to everybody we meet because we don't know what anybody's gone through in their lives, do we? Some of us have gone through some really unusual times. Oops, almost dropped this. Okay, now I'm going to look for another edge here. Anyway, you just have to keep hanging in there. It will get better. I know it doesn't seem like it, but things are really, they're coming close. They're coming close to a way to get us through this. And in the meantime, make your clouds. Put your tears in the clouds. Put your joy in the clouds or whatever you're making. Draw different things. Maybe if you're into sewing, sew something cool. Make a little Christmas gift for somebody. Yeah, you don't have to buy it. You know, just hang in there, okay? Hang in there. I want you to. I want us all to hang in there. You can do it. And have a good day.